Hey.
Hello, Internet.
We started recording before I thought we were going to. I had a piece of candy in my mouth. Hold on. It was the green minty stripe kind. It was the good shit. I don't like to breathe my stink breath on Bill.
That's nice. I put on a little bit of deodorant just so I didn't have to wave the stink at her.
I appreciate it.
I don't do it often. For you, anything?
Yeah, my hair's all fucked up, but Bill's is shorter.
Yeah, I've been taking a lot of shit for my haircut this week.
You're there because they think you're a neo-Nazi?
Yeah, that's exactly it. People are like, oh, I didn't know you were
not a regular Nazi either, it's the neo kind.
You're probably relatively new. No, I've had a lot of people, wow, dude, are you like becoming a Nazi or a Klan member? You shaved all your hair off. I'm like,
it's hot out.
Do you ever ask black people that when they shave their head? What the fuck's the matter with you?
No, they just assume that they're going bald, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Am I wearing a white shirt with red suspenders and a bunch of fucking jackboots and shit? No, jackass.
Truly, come on. It's the blue eyes.
No kidding. Well, that's why I had to get rid of the blonde hair. I look like a fucking Nazi.
Are you of German descent?
I am. Only a fourth of the way.
All right.
But, yeah, that's all right. The Native American part kind of cancels that out. I'm not a pureblood.
He's a mudblood. Yeah,
I am.
You are.
But I'm cool with that. But being a mudblood makes me less of a person, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Although I saw a funny joke on, this has nothing to do with anything of any importance, but the royal baby, that if the father, Prince William, is 100% royal and the mother is 0% royal, then wouldn't their baby be the half-blood prince? It was pretty funny.
That's a pretty good line, yeah.
That was not mine. I saw that on a meme, but it was pretty funny. Their baby's the half-blood prince.
That totally works.
Yeah.
Now, when I was joking about not being a full person, it's because we've been talking about non-human persons.
Yeah, not corporate personhood. That's different.
Yeah, those are just fuck. Those aren't even people. Those are just assholes.
Corporations with assholes.
Mostly we've been talking about it because India, in the past month, has passed a law banning dolphin and whale captivity.
Yes, but only dolphin and whales.
Those are the two that prove to have had their own languages, and they seem to have a very near-human intelligence. I can understand that. They decided, let's not lock them up anymore.
That's true.
We're going to keep locking up people, but fuck, let the dolphins go.
The people aren't real peoples, I guess. Real human people.
Yeah, once you become a criminal, you're not a real person anymore.
Well, especially if you're a criminal that didn't actually do anything. You're still not a criminal or a person. You're still a criminal, you're just not a person.
Yeah.
But this is the same India that 40, 50 years ago, because it's always 40, 50 years ago, that the caste system was abolished.
Didn't they start saying that about 40 or 50 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, India is a weird place, because they have people like, you have multi-million-dollar mansions, and then 2 blocks down the road, you'll have these little tiny shanties where like 50 people are crammed into a room smaller than the space we're in right now.
Yeah.
And they all live there on bunk beds, but everybody's cool with it. They're like, fuck it.
By bunk beds, he's like literally shanty towns. Like, yeah. Shanty, not like...
We built this mostly out of cardboard, but then we found a piece of wood to tie it all together,
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But, like, India is a country with a really large population and infrastructure that hadn't quite kept up with the growth of population, I think.
No, I guess technically they're still considered a third world country.
The educational system there is just blossoming. You can't throw a stone and not hit 5 people with a master's degree.
You can't throw a stone here and not hit a doctor of Indian descent. They're far more intelligent than what we are.
I don't know.
We're graduating very few scientists, and yeah.
Well, the public schools.
They're fucking terrible.
It's true. I went to public school. That's why I can't send an email with an attachment.
That's why I can't math.
I are smart.
Yup.
Yeah.
But no, it's kind of cool that somebody's finally saying, yeah, we're not going to imprison these dolphins for human entertainment anymore. Yeah. And it's dolphins and whales. I mean, they're high-functioning brains. They're highly intelligent creatures. They're mammals. They're just like us, but they live in the fucking water. We just think we got dominion over them because we got these, buddy, and you don't.
But I think dolphins, don't they have thumbs inside of their flippers?
They might.
I think they do. I think they have 5 digits.
I don't know that much about cetaceans.
Oh, see.
But I know they're called cetaceans.
Yeah. Well, I recall watching something as a younger person about dolphins, and I thought that they said they had 5 digits in their flippers. And so, I think dolphins are actually merpeople, which has nothing to do with today's topic, but I think that they really are merpeople. They're the humans of the water.
They are.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of linguists in the past 20 years who have been studying them, the sounds they make. They do seem to have very distinct language, but we can't decipher it because it's not only like the clicks and whistles and other sounds, but there's like sonar sounds they make to fill in parts of their words. There's parts of their body language that fill in certain portions of the sentences. They've got an incredibly complex language, way beyond English. But they understand English just fine. We can't figure out what they're talking.
Well, and isn't that interesting? Because we'd obviously would have to figure out what the root dialect is to see if there's multiple dialects. Because it could be that regionally they speak a little bit different language. I don't know.
Very possible. And I wonder if that's what happens when you have like dolphin fights in the tanks. They're just bringing in people from different cultures. And you're like, hey, fuck you, man, I'm Southside.
Right, we're here to represent.
Yeah, wired and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But it's kind of freaky because we were doing research and I came up with a stat that about 14 people a year are raped by dolphins. They're a little on the rapey side.
They're very, very rapey creatures.
Well,
they rape the shit out of each other all the time.
Yeah.
Rape is very common in the aminal. Wow. How about an animal world instead of an aminal?
Yeah.
But
so these are these vast creatures of human-like intelligence. Well, and I know that there's a number of humans that are rapists as well, but I'm good on that. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that they should be captive, but...
Do we even know, like, how many dolphins there are in the world? Supposedly we claim they were endangered at one point, and that's why we started putting them in tanks to conserve their numbers and teach them how to spin a hula hoop on their nose, because that's important for education.
Well, and that's the thing about conservation. I can't talk today. The thing about conservation anyway is that if you're trying to conserve something, you'd think you'd want to live in as nearly natural of a habitat as possible. That's why they with the penguins, they put the weird penguin mittens on their hands and shit so they don't see what humans look like when they're raising up the babies because they don't want them to be all fucked up.
Penguins,
as much like a penguin as you can be when you're raised by a puppet. And so, except for when you're a dolphin, in which case then you can twirl this hula hoop around and let people ride around on your back. And then when once in a while you decide to take a little something for yourself, oh no, everyone gets all pissed off about it.
Rape you a little bit. It's cool.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of creepy though. Like, are they actually? What's the purpose of them of raping? Like, are they gratified by it? Or
I want to know what is constituted by this rape.
That's what I'm trying to like.
Is there actual penetration?
Well, and I'm like, without trying to be grotesque, that's kind of what I'm trying to feel around is like, is it kind of like when a dog jumps on somebody, you got to kick the dog away, and you're like, get down, go lay down, and the dog wasn't actually trying to mate with you, it's just, I don't know, it had a weird thing.
I just got this instinct to
right, or is it like that, or is this dolphin like set out to rape you? I mean, straight up, like, listen, I bought you dinner, it's on, bitch.
I heard an interview with Shane Smith from Vice.com. He seems like a really cool guy. I'd love to meet him at some point, but he was talking about swimming with dolphins in the ocean. And they got into, like, this thing was a huge pod of dolphins, like thousands of them. And he said quite literally you could tell in the water it was mostly dolphin semen. They're just ejaculating everywhere all the time and spreading it throughout. That's what the ocean is made up of. It's a big pool of dolphin cum.
Oh.
But
that's why it's salty.
God, I've gotten splashed in the face with that before.
Did you lick your lips?
I did not.
You liar!
Not on purpose.
Oh yeah.
You just kind of do that when something hits you in the face. You're like, what was that? Oh. Ew.
Salt water's a little on the slimy side.
So nasty. But really, I mean, if they're having that much sex and they're raping their own on a regular basis, maybe they're just raping people to be like, hey, you're one of us, come on in. We're just going to do these things you don't like, and you're going to get used to it. Well,
but I mean, really, it's a small crime compared to constantly having your people grabbed up out of the water and put into tanks.
Well,
and
that's true. The number of people who
are assaulted by
the number of non-human people who are abducted from the ocean every year. Yeah, it's far smaller. The number of human beings raping human beings is way smaller. But I also want to know how many of these people being raped by dolphins are having it done in the open water, and how many are doing it while they're out. I paid so much to go swim with the dolphins at blah, blah, blah aquarium. Yeah. They're in captivity. Humans in captivity, they tend to rape one another.
That makes it sound like it's just like this normal thing that happens, and it's just not. Like, I swear to God, it's not. Like, people walking down the street aren't just like, I think I'd like to try to stick this somewhere it's not supposed to be right now.
Hey,
they just don't.
I know you didn't want to talk to me, but what if I hold you down and rape you? Yeah, that's
as long as it's a legitimate rape.
Then your body can defend against it.
Exactly, and that's probably why there's no dolphin human babies, is that it's all legitimate.
That's true.
The human body has that way of shutting the whole thing down. It's so funny to me.
Who was that dumb bitch that said that?
It was a guy, I think.
No, I think that was a woman.
Are you sure?
It was some female politician.
It's been so long since that happened that I'd ever have to research it, but I think it was a guy.
I'm telling you, this past decade has done so much to destroy women's lives. It's unbelievable. But no, what I was saying, I shouldn't joke around so much about rape, but I mean, when I lived around an area where I could have ducks and things in the yard just showing up on a regular basis, ducks are terrible rapists. Man, you will see 3 of them just attack a female and hold her down.
Wow.
And go to town. And when she gets away, they fucking get up in the air and knock her back to the ground and do it again.
Jesus.
But dogs do it. Everybody's a rapist, apparently.
Well, and so where's the human consciousness in these non-human animals or whatever they were, non-human people?
I have no idea.
Because, like, people can at least be rationalized with it, like, hey, it's wrong to, like, force yourself on somebody that really isn't into you. But apparently in the dolphin kingdom, it's legit. It's like, it's fine. Well, it's not okay.
That's never the sound okay. I make during anal rape.
Yeah, it's never okay, you guys. You rapey dolphins.
Yeah, somebody should put this in a tank and play it for the dolphins. Stop doing that shit.
Right.
It's not nice. Consensual is far more fun.
Well, because no joke, if they're given I'm gonna keep stumbling over that non-human personhood or whatever it is.
It's a weird term.
But if they're given that right as a species, then where really is the line for what is humanity and what's acceptable and what's not? And I brought this up a few minutes ago when we were just chit-chatting about this, but I mean, black folks were only considered 3/5 of a person until not that long ago.
Yeah.
So, these scientists are determining that these dolphins have greater intelligence than they did for these group of people.
Exactly.
What the fuck is that?
And wait a minute. Now, once upon a time, black people were not seen as full humans, but now they are. Does that mean we can no longer hold them in captivity? Guess what, guys? You're on your way out of prison.
No, and it's not like, black people are disproportionately held in captivity in prison.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's all fucked up. But really, though, if it's illegal to keep dolphins and whales in captivity for human entertainment, then what's going on? I guess it's because it's for humans' own good. So then are they going to lock up these rapist porpoises? Well, I guess the porpoises are the ones that the dolphins are attacking.
If the ones that are raping people are already in captivity, who knows?
Then are they going to are they going to just let the ones go?
That's a damn good question. Well, at least when it comes to India, if they can't have them anymore, I'm assuming, they're just going to take them out in the ocean and let them go. Which hopefully works out.
I don't know. Because it goes back to that example with the penguins. You got to be raised by a penguin puppet. You can't be raised by a regular human. And I mean, they've been having their fish thrown in their face for all these years. If they could just jump through the hoop, they get a fish thrown at their face. They don't know how to hunt.
Trick, you don't get to eat.
Right, and they're just going to be swimming around like, what's going on? Where's my bucket of food?
But I would assume, there are people who can walk away from modern society and go tribal and be just fine. I'm sure a dolphin could figure it out if they've got the same level of intelligence as we do. Their cognitive functions similar. They could manage.
Well, but how, and I know I just feel like I'm devil advocate all over the place, but how just human is it to just decide, we are the smartest ones, and they're nearly as smart as us, and what are we using to test these creatures when we can't even understand what they're saying? Maybe they're vastly more intelligent, and they're sitting there going, what the fuck?
That's a very good possibility. Oh, well, I mean, really, what we judge as our intelligence, we are the only ones who have been able to manifest and build our dreams.
Well, maybe the other creatures' dreams are just more simple to live in harmony with the earth.
Yeah, I mean, really, everything we've done has just kind of destroyed everything that keeps everything alive.
Yeah, we're the intelligent creatures.
We're the smart ones. Look at what we did. Woo!
Right. What the hell? It's crazy.
Yeah, we're kind of fucking retarded.
Yeah, something.
But I'll tell you, what really got me interested in learning more about dolphins was this documentary called The Cove.
I haven't seen it.
I know. And one of those articles we read, like the first line is, everybody should see The Cove. Everybody should.
Yeah.
It shows how most of the dolphins who are kept in captivity are caught. And in Japan, my God, I've got friends who live in Japan. I have no problem with Japanese people, but they do eat a lot of whale meat.
See, I was unaware of that.
Oh, yeah. Apparently it's really popular. But a lot of the whale meat that they have in their grocery stores actually comes from dolphin. Similar structure. They don't really care. But what they do is...
kind of like imitation crab meat. What the fuck is it?
They have this area outside of one of the islands. There's like a big cove that they can drive the dolphins into. And it's right on a dolphin migration path. And they'll get these... tons of ships out there, and when the dolphins start coming through, they put these long pipes in the ground and just start beating them with metal hammers because that drives them fucking crazy with the sonar. I mean, they're incredibly sensitive hearing. They immediately try to get away. The only place to go away from the sound is towards this cove where the boats can close in, drop the nets, stop them from leaving. And then it's just, they pull out the prettiest ones that they can, and it's wholesale slaughter on everybody else. And when I saw this movie, man, I almost cried. And I didn't even cry at E.T. when I was a kid. I'm like, fuck it, it's a goddamn movie. This was real life. These things were screaming like little girls in a horror movie. I mean, it was horrible. And they're just chopping chunks off of them while they're alive, stabbing them with sticks and letting them bleed out as they're flopping around. It was terrifying.
But is that different than them doing the same thing to the wild horses? Trying to round them up, stomping them, chasing them with helicopters, shooting at them.
No.
Setting dynamite off to make them go a certain direction versus another.
What the hell is the matter with us that makes us think we have to control nature? We are nature. We don't even know how to control ourselves.
Right. And why are we always decide, this is the best idea. Let's bring in some beetles from another fucking country that has never been in this area before, and let's introduce it because we think it's going to do something awesome. And yet then every single time, well, it really didn't help anything out because there's no predators here. And so that went just crazy and overpopulated the whole area, decimated local populations, and it happens with animals and bugs and plants, and it's just left and right that we bring strange species in and destroy the natural habitat of indigenous populations. I mean, over and over and over again.
There are a lot of really well-intentioned people out there working on conservation of the ecology and all this.
Then just capture it and make it do tricks. That's how you conserve.
Not just that, but I mean, even in fauna or flora and all that, we try to build natural habitats as far as the wild plants growing in different areas. And every time we do it, we fuck something up bad. We've never had a 100% success.
Well, I mean, how fucked up is this? We try to build natural habitats. You're trying to build something that should be there naturally. What the fuck?
If we didn't fuck it up to build mini malls, it would have been fine in the first place.
Right. So why don't we, first of all, decide we don't even know what we're doing and stop trying to fix everything if we just...
That's my biggest bitch. We need to just stop everything. Stop all the damn political arguing. Stop all the wars. Stop and just take a look in the mirror and be like, well, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
We're burning down everything that keeps us alive in exchange for money, which is really just an imaginary concept that we've taught ourselves is real important, but...
it has no actual value.
You can't eat it. It doesn't fuel anything. It just keeps...
Sure it does. Greed in the human heart.
Oh, snap, girl.
Oh, yeah.
If I keep talking like that, people are going to be like, he's definitely gay. I'm pretty sure he's gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
No, there's not. I've got a lot of gay friends. I don't give a flying
His wife would be pissed, though.
She told me on the night before our wedding, if you ever come out of the closet, I will kill you. I'm like, Well, I guess that was my last chance. I passed. Sorry.
True.
But, yeah, I mean, everything that we're doing is just fucked up.
I'm just literally left speechless by it. I mean, this is how stupid humans are in general. There's people, I'm looking over here at my notebook that I can't even read because it's so far away. I just need a reference point. But there's
I just want to point over there.
But there's people who are paying money to go, while the woman's pregnant, to go to the dolphin enclosures to swim with the dolphins so that they can practice before the baby's born, because they're going to go and have their baby in the dolphin tank. There's dolphin-assisted births, people. What the fuck are you thinking? And this is a brilliant idea. You know these rapey dolphins that beat things to death using their weird sonar? Let's fucking give birth in there. Right? Amazing.
But Dr. Flipper is great with a speculum. He's definitely going to help us out.
Right, but this is the same species that is so vastly brilliant, and I mean humans, that we're in charge of everything. We have dominion over everything, so we get to decide what lives, what doesn't, where things should grow, where they shouldn't grow. And we're the ones deciding all this. We fucked it all up.
We did.
We fucked it all up. But they're almost as smart as us, so they're going to be people now. What the fuck?
Yeah, I would say they're vastly more intelligent than us because they've been around. Well, as far as
they aren't actively destroying their habitat.
As far as we know, they've been around much, much longer than our species, and they haven't destroyed the ocean.
That's because they're the Atlanteans.
Oh.
Conspiracy Roy, look that up.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. There's my hat. I should put that.
Oh, yeah.
My winged foil hat.
I threw mine away.
It makes me so pretty.
Wow, with the white background, you can't see. I'll duck down.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's but who knows? Maybe dolphins really are the last run around as humans. One never knows.
It could be.
I know it sounds.
Did you ever end up watching that documentary on the mermaids?
I did watch some of it. Yeah, I caught some of it.
I liked it. It was really well put together. It was not real.
Like Alien Autopsy put on by Fox 15 years ago.
It was a mockumentary, not documentary. They knew from the beginning, and they even tell people it's not real. But
they don't have the constant crawl at the bottom of the screen that says, this is just a reenactment.
Stop believing us. And you might be stupid, but this is not real.
But people don't even know what reenactment means. No
That's
joke.
True.
There was a lady that old show Unsolved Mysteries, and they used to look for criminals occasionally on that show. And this lady had done some kind of weird heist, and the actress got the police called on her like 6 different times. The actress who did the reenactment, because the people kept calling the police on the actress.
I've seen the bitch that killed him.
Right.
You gotta help me.
And it's like, listen, I'm not even the same ethnicity as that woman that actually did the crime. But they couldn't get past the actor's face.
I always worry about that because no matter where I go, somebody always calls out a random name and starts waving to me.
Jim!
And I know I must have the most generic looking face in the world. I must look like a shitload of people.
Well, we can't all be radiant beauty like I. So.
That's true. One of these days, the ATS or somebody's going to come bursting through my door, and I'm like, "We know you're wanted in 17 countries." I'm like, "Fuck, I've only been in 2. Why do they want me?"
One of them was Canada.
No, actually, it's only here in Mexico. But
yeah,
Mexico was literally because I was in San Diego and thought I've never left the country. I guess I'll walk across this bridge.
Can you still do that without your passport and stuff now?
No.
I thought that it was like literally you can't even cross the peninsula like that.
Well, I mean, you can go into Mexico without it.
You can't get back.
You can get back.
I bet you that they would believe that I was actually...
I don't know, because I'm showing the guy at customs on the way back my driver's license, and he's like, "So, you're an American, huh?" I'm like, "Have you not heard me speak, motherfucker?"
Right.
The license says Indiana. That's not near a foreign country.
I mean, how much more Midwest do you want me to sound? Come on.
Exactly.
The only way I could sound more Midwest would be to pull out a Southside Chicago accent.
Look, if you'll just let me go home, I'll buy you a nice sausage sandwich.
See, that sounds like a Boston to me.
It does, but I hear people from Chicago that sound like that. I don't get it.
It's true. Well, maybe they've been hanging out with too many dolphins.
That could be.
Yeah.
Too many dolphin cocks in the mouth. It'll fuck up the way you speak.
It will.
And they'll shove it right in there. They're dangerous.
They are. They are, really. But, I mean, I just cannot, the thing that baffles me still is, how are you deciding that this species of animal life is humanoid, for lack of a better term, but yet they're keeping humans in captivity, left and right, and they're not considered humanoid all over the planet, these dolphins and whales.
Yeah, only in certain
areas, and I'm just, at a loss for logic, really.
There are advocacy groups all over trying to make it more well-known.
But that's fine, but then what about the lions and tigers and bears? Oh my!
Yeah, but why not just look at everything
and say, what I'm saying.
Okay, this is all a form of life, and life has a right to life, and the right to a happy life, and being able to get the food you want, unless you live in an area where it's not available, which nobody on the planet does. All humans live in an area where food is available.
If people would stop stealing it from other people.
Affordable.
Right. Well, even what they call third world countries do have food available. They just do not share it with people.
Oh yeah. It's there for the wealthy.
Yeah.
It astounds me how many things we've given up in exchange for money. I mean, letting private companies own the water supply, letting private companies not only own the water supply, but buy politicians, send their former executives to become politicians, and then make laws that say you can't even collect rainwater on your property to fertilize your own crops. You have to buy the water. Because we own that natural resource.
Right. Well, the only thing
Sounds
you
like
can
bullshit
have...
to me.
Right. The only thing you can have free in at least the area we live in is air, but if you want it heated and cooled, then you got to pay
or shoved into a tire for you.
Right, yeah.
That cracks me up. I remember when I'm not that fucking old, man. I'm only 36. I remember when air was free, that every gas station had a pump.
And then it was only a dime.
Yeah, and then it was only a dime. Now they've got fucking credit card slots on the machine so you can...
75 cents.
Why? Why?
Too many kids were going around filling up their bike tires.
They're just letting all the air out. People are going to breathe that shit.
I don't know. But when you were talking about the Cove and they were chasing all the dolphins into the Cove with the big metal pipes and beating it with the hammers and causing the sonic waves in the water, the NPR, National Public Radio, today posted an article on Facebook about that the oceans are just too loud. The different wildlife creatures that live in the ocean are not able to make the way that they normally would or travel the way that they normally would because of all the different ships coming through and
all the different sonars.
Just all the different, the submarines, the ships, the underwater welding, all this different underwater activity is just fucking with the sound waves terribly sonar waves under the water terribly, and the fish and other mammal life can't take it.
Yeah,
imagine going from not being able to hear and then suddenly there's something done to you where you are given hearing, but you're put into the middle of downtown New York. And you're like, what the fuck is this? That's kind of what they're going through.
Yeah, it really is.
It's quiet the other day.
If you can't quite get that, try and grasp the idea of you're trying to go to sleep in your home and some asshole's got a loud thumping stereo bumping all down the street. Same shit.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know what the fuck our problem is. Why do we have to be everywhere all the fucking time making noise and building more crap and just destroying everything?
Well, but that's just human nature, dude. Before I came here today,
I don't think it is.
No, check this out, though. But like that's what's wrong with people, though, is that they learn this behavior and it becomes like a second nature. I was in my neighbor before I came out to record today, and my neighbors are listening to this fucked up, weird music up the hill because they're doing yard work outside. I don't want to hear that shit when I go outside. I have no desire to hear your goddamn music. I have headphones. I have respect to not force everybody else on my block to listen to what I want to listen to.
Exactly.
So what the fuck is with all these people thinking, it's fine?
What?
Everybody likes to hear what you hear or fucking just be involved with what you're doing all the time. No one
it drives me nuts when you see people who, their car is a piece of shit, and it's falling apart. And don't get me wrong, I don't give a flying fuck about a car as a status symbol. My car is always dirty because it gets washed when it rains. I don't care about that. But, I mean, you get this car that, barely runs. It's got rust all over it. There's holes where it's rusted through.
People's feet are falling out of the floor.
Yeah, everybody's doing the Flintstone thing to stop their car when they go. But they'll have a $400 or $500 stereo system in there. You gotta have the big speakers. You can hear the frame rattling itself apart in different parts of the song.
It sounds good.
Why do you need to destroy your own hearing while forcing other people to listen to shit that they don't want to hear?
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to hear it, it would be playing on my radio too.
Do you want to know how far I go with this? When I pull up at stoplights, I turn my radio down. Because while I'm going down the road, I know people can't hear me because it's not up that loud any damn way. But when I come up to a dead stop and everybody else at a dead stop and everybody's windows are down because it's fucking hot out, I turn my radio down because I'm just not a dick. That's like, hey, I know you don't care if I'm listening to NPR or whatever the fuck it is, listening to some secret weird pop music. I turn it down a little so everybody doesn't have to listen to it.
It's just a common courtesy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to the days when people would carry around the big fucking boombox on their shoulder and blare their stereo into their head.
Thanks, the 80s.
Yeah, thanks, 80s. Jeez, you're worse than Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But why? Why do you want to... You know this shit is making you deaf. when you turn it off and you've got that little...
Well, okay.
That ringing is actually your hearing dying.
Right, yeah, that, what is that, tinnitus?
Yeah.
Tinnitus, yeah, that you keep all night, you're... But, okay, people, they do the same thing when they put that giant fast food burger into their fucking gullet. They're like, this is causing me to have heart trouble. Halt. Or this is causing me to have, like, whatever, intestinal troubles. Halt. And I do the same thing. We all do stuff we know we shouldn't do. But when it's impacting other people is where I have a problem with it.
That's exactly right. If you want to make those shitty decisions for yourself, feel free.
It's like people who smoke with their kids in the car. And I'm, like, not even against smokers, right? But fucking A, your 3-year-old did not decide to be a smoker.
No. At the very least, you need to have the goddamn windows down.
Right, but no, it'll be the dead of winter. All the windows are up. The kid's back there. And you can see they're getting all...
Put on that button so you recirculate the air in the car and it never gets any fresh oxygen.
Right, and I don't even care. Smoke all day, I don't care. But really, for like kids' windows down.
Yeah.
God, they don't want to breathe that. They're little.
I don't know. We just do this stupid shit. Like, vaccinations for people. I understand. I fully understand the idea of trying to eradicate certain diseases that have decimated our populations in the past. Totally understand it.
Right.
We don't have problems with those diseases everywhere. But... we take a baby who has to start beginning to build their immune system, and we jam them full of a bunch of shit they probably would have never come into contact with, and make them sick.
Well, and if you want your infants to have...
because we're making things better.
Right, if you want your infant to have a decent immune system, breastfeed it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because, I mean, it's amazing. The human mother's body creates all this shit for the baby to drink, and it's got all the antibodies and shit in it. Naturally
grown local food is the best thing for you.
Dude, I rocked out the farmer's
Your mom is as close as you could possibly get. And breast milk is natural, dude. There you go.
Well, and then, okay, like, if you're breastfeeding your babies, this is just a secondary thing of don't fuck up other people's lives. Like, watch what you put into your body. Like, it's not a good idea to go and use crack and then breastfeed your baby. So and by the way, there was an article the other day, put out by NPR, I love you, that they did a long-term study of crack babies and found that as these children grew into adults, there was no adverse effects from their mothers having used crack when the babies were in utero.
Really?
They thought there would be because the babies were all, like, nervous and twitchy and had, like, couldn't keep eye contact when they were infants. But as they turned into young adults, they're fine. So they were shocked. The scientists were shocked. They're like, what the fuck? But I think that just goes to show how strong the human spirit can be and heal if you give them the proper things it needs.
Yeah, I don't know. That I would have to read up on that before I make any comments because that sounds...
doesn't it sound like it's like...
that sounds like it might be all bullshit.
It may be, but yeah, NPR, they don't even get money from the government, not that much too anyway.
We couldn't afford Big Bird, remember? We were too busy spending hundreds of trillions of dollars fighting people who never started a problem with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know what to say.
Dolphins aren't doing that.
No, the dolphins keep to themselves.
But you know what? The dolphins don't mind breastfeeding around other dolphins. What the fuck is wrong with us doing that?
Okay, like in New York passed the law where it's okay now for women to show their chi-chis. And do you remember that like a month ago?
Oh, yeah, the ladies running around topless.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, really? Dude, who the fuck cares? Like, no one's ever seen a set of titties. Come on. Come on.
It cracks me up.
Bill's going to show his next episode.
Fucking show me.
There they are.
Movies. But,
have to wait for mine.
We need an NCR rating.
Right. But right. He can show his tits on screen, but I can't.
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with that? But what's the point? Your boobs don't look that much different than mine. They're just shaped a little bit differently. They've got a little more fatty tissue than mine do because
you just said my boobs are fat. I know.
But you know what? If you lost all your body fat, your boobs would shrivel up. Because they are made up of fatty tissues.
They look like tube sacks.
If you've seen your own boobs as a man, you've got a pretty damn good idea what a woman's boobs look like.
Yeah.
It's not that exciting. And in other countries where it's commonplace to have, like, when you have a commercial on TV for soap and you show people in the shower, you show naked people in the shower.
Right.
They see it all the time from the time they're a child. They have far less instances of rape than we do.
Well, there's
Maybe we're just overly repressed.
Well, it's an obsessive repression.
Yeah.
It's really strange how once
internet porn took off, people went crazy.
Well, yeah, because they didn't have to go and sneak out behind the dumpster anymore with the Playboy they found at the park. It's disgusting, all the pages stuck together and shit. And you're like, why?
Give that book away.
Right, but what's up with these people? You're like, hey, I found this magazine that some creeper that I don't know discarded, so I'm going to take them and jerk off with it. What the fuck?
I'm going to try not to get too much of his semen on my hands when I'm licking him and then working the magic.
Dude. Yeah. And, like, you were super descriptive with your hand motions with that, too. I'm like, what?
I did it quick. I was trying not to be too descriptive.
No, I got the whole... I wasn't even looking
at it. You understood what was going on.
Peripherally, I got it, though. I was like,
there's something wrong with that guy.
But this is the epitome of intelligence that all animals most aspire to. Human-like. What the... This is the best we've got.
Well, you know what? We do have that down pat. Now that we've got the internet and we can jerk off whenever we want to any kind of form we want, we are kind of the top of the chain. Because when we put animals into a cage, apes, rats...
You decide when they can mate.
Well, not just that, but we've done experiments where, like, you put electrodes into their brain, and if they push one button, the electrode will spark in their brain, they'll give them an orgasm. If you push another button, a door will open and they'll get some food. They'll push the other one and starve to death. Just one orgasm after another.
I was thinking about how does one get across this button. I'd like to have one.
I like my own button. Many people are really pissing me off, but I don't give a flying. I gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are not my coitus phases.
I wouldn't know. I just,
I don't even know what it looks like. I never look at myself in the mirror when it's happening.
Really? I do. I try to be very conscious about my appearance. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to start putting up a mirror there.
I do because I'm like I try to get all the Paris Hilton looks. And then
But your own version of One Night in Paris. That was
because I remember watching a stupid video of Paris Hilton where she was watching the mirror and she just kept posing and I was like, that's what I try to do in bed. It's just, And then sometimes I'm like, oh my god, look at the chunk.
I know I have a tendency, like after I work out, to stare at myself in the mirror to see if anything changed.
I know, right?
You can never tell if you've done it 2 days in a row.
I know, yeah. I went for long walks for 2 days. I'm like looking at my ass, like, what the fuck?
My calves when they get stronger.
Right.
Yeah, well, all right. No.
Right.
Yeah, we are a bunch of vain, ignorant creatures.
We really are, and we think that just like us doing the show, that people actually give a shit and want to hear what we have to say, what we're doing.
You shouldn't give a shit what we have to say.
No, you should go decide what you want to say.
Exactly. I had a conversation, because working in restaurants, you work with a lot of younger people, as well as older. But we were just sitting around last night after closing down the restaurant talking, and the kids were talking about, oh, Twitter's so great. I love getting on Twitter and reading all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you realize what you're really doing is wasting your life to read the impressions of people who are wasting their lives. And none of you are even living your lives.
Well, and that's the thing I was going to say about any kind of social media is that I don't think most of that stuff even actually happens. Like the little funny quips and quotes that people put on their little Twitter feeds. If you have that much funny stuff happening to you every day, you have the best life ever.
No shit. And you should stop tweeting it and just go enjoy it.
Yeah. But yeah, I tweet. I like it. I try to remember to tweet once a day at least. Sometimes it's every 3 or 4. I try.
I bet. I don't think I've posted anything on Twitter in 2 weeks.
You did.
I just checked my Facebook for the first time today.
You shared my video from Tana Talks. That's the last thing you did.
I did that today.
Okay.
But prior to that, I don't think I touched any Facebook, Twitter, anything for a couple weeks. I
am I have an obsessive problem. I'm on Facebook and Twitter all the time, but I try to make it look like I'm not. Like, I'll go and read everybody's stuff and be really careful not to like anything, because I don't want anybody to know that I was on there, but I'll stalk people for a few hours. Like, and I'm on there hours a day, and I'll go look really quick, put it away, go look really quick, put it away, go look, all day long. But I purposely don't interact with it where people can tell, because I'm like, God, if they knew how much I was on here, they would be really sad. They'd be sickened by how much, like, social media I am exposed to. And then people are like, so did you hear about blah, blah, blah happened in the news? There was a flood?
What?
No. But I'm like, I saw some funny-ass memes. I have no idea what's going on in the rest of the world, but I saw some funny memes, Jack. And I saw some cool stuff on Pinterest. About how to decorate your staircase with like books.
At Pinterest.
I actually, it's Pinterest.
Although I did open an Instagram account this week.
Okay.
So I can start doing pictures and shit.
Thanks, Windows Phone. I can't use Instagram. I use, Lomogram or some fucking shit.
And nobody goes there.
I don't even, like, the app doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. Come on.
Because you will be the first person to have ever downloaded it.
But yeah, I just upload directly from my fucking camera roll into my Facebook because it sucks. And we all know that my Windows Phone gets less viruses, but it has no apps.
It gets less viruses because no one else is using it.
Well, just like with the MacBook, though. The MacBook has way less viruses that are written to attack Apple
with
software.
People who use Linux.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's the one that's the least used is the one that has the best defense.
Wouldn't it make more sense to just design software and computers and websites, everything to
universally IEEE standards,
not be susceptible to viruses? Stop leaving the fucking back door open.
Well, how about we be fucking decent human beings and stop writing viruses for stupid shit? Oh, hey, haha, that guy clicked on the wrong porn site, now he's got viruses. How funny, you fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
That reminds me of you guys that drive around in pickup trucks with the fucking testicles hanging out the back of your trunk. Really?
Nuts.
Truck nuts. What the fuck? Dude, I don't know. And I have the same respect for those guys as I do the guys that write fucking lame as like malware and shit. Come on. Well, malware, I guess, it's written kind of.
Yeah, somebody put it together. I don't.
Whatever.
I don't get it.
Oh God, you're leet.
2012.
How cool.
I was really, really hoping that was the end.
Oh God, I fucking went through this like bad depression for months after fucking the 21st came and went. I was like, oh God, I waited years for everything to reset.
Somebody's going to make bigger truck nuts now. That's what we've come to.
And miracles.
Well, that's the reason I say, we need to take a look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what the fuck are we doing? Because we're not going anywhere. We're not discovering. There are some people out there, scientists.
No, totally. And there are decent people out there.
There are people doing good things.
Yeah.
But the majority of us are just playing with our dicks and looking at stupid internet memes, and we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
We're just making more garbage and telling other species that they can't live here anymore because we need a new shopping mall.
Let's build a big store. For what? People will come and shop there.
What are they going to buy?
Stuff. They're just going to come. Well, why would they come here? Because it's the biggest store. What? This is the birth of the Mall of America. They built a big fucking store, and then people come just to go shopping. But the incentive is you don't pay taxes there on clothes. Ooh. And it saved me about $7. It did because I'm poor, so my purchases were minuscule. But dude, I went into a place and they wanted $400 for a T-shirt, and it was like
what?
Yeah, it was like a sport workout store. And I'm like, I think you've mislabeled some of these shirts, sir. I think they mean to be $4 and maybe 50 cents. But he's like. Then the guy got kind of shitty about it. He's like, well, I guess you could go down to Old Navy and buy a shirt, but it won't be around as long. I'm like, as much as I ruin my clothes, dude, this one will last 2 weeks just like the other one. Crazy.
I learned my lesson in the early 90s when I saved up my money through working all summer and bought stupid name brand shit like Z Cavaricci and watched how that expensive shit fell apart at the seams in less time than a pair of Wranglers. Never, ever
Must
again.
be like the time I went and bought expensive panties. I was fucking pissed when the lacy stuff starts falling off and all the stretchy stuff starts coming out. Motherfucker, I washed these underwear and I paid like $40 for a pair of one panties and they broke.
You know who never does that?
People with common sense.
Or dolphins.
They stick with the panties that are just off the rack, don't they?
That's right.
Yeah, but no, I mean, really, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I know that we're changing topics.
so far.
But you know
what?
Right, that's the point of how humans are. We can't stay on topic because we've got all these shiny things and what's that, Twitter?
When you look at the past 20 years of our development as a society, just human society.
I shudder to even think of it.
We are so scatterbrained, it's unbelievable. We're we're going to make the greatest cassette tapes, CDs, DVDs ever. We're just going to make new shit. Yeah. We're going to go to the moon again. Maybe Mars. Let's just stick around here and check out the oceans.
Go out for coffee. Go out to eat to a family-style restaurant. Almost all the kids that come in, they're either on their little Nintendo DSs or their little iPods or their iPads or whatever the fuck. You can't put that down for a 30-minute meal with your fucking family. I would backhand the shit out of my kid. You bust out your fucking iPod.
When you see people coming up to the cashier at a gas station or a restaurant, anywhere, and they're just chatting away on their phone
because they're that important.
Because this is so important, I gotta talk right now. I can't wait till I get home, blah, blah, blah. How are the kids supposed to learn any respect and to act differently if the adults don't do it?
True story. Like all the moms and dads at the park.
Yeah.
And they're all on their phones and their kids are playing by themselves.
When there's a family meal and everybody's texting, including mom and dad, they're not texting each other.
No.
there's no time for any kind of societal bonds anymore.
Well, and that's it. Like there's these organizations that try to buy kitchen tables, dining room tables for families because you need to spend that time together as a family. What they need to do is take up a collection to get rid of cell phones and electronic devices. I mean, come on.
I don't know.
When was the last time you actually used your phone for an actual emergency, dude?
That's true. Holy shit.
I used my cell phone one time since I had one in the last 10 years for an actual emergency.
What was the emergency?
My car broke down on the side of the road.
That's not an emergency. You got feet. You could have walked somewhere.
Nah, bro. I was in the bad neighborhood. Yeah. I was in a really... The police came by and asked me if I wanted to ride out of the neighborhood. I'm like, no, my dad will be here in 5 minutes. Oh, God, hurry up, Dad.
That's cool, because we can't stick around. We gotta go.
Right.
Our guns aren't big enough to hang out here.
Yeah, and it was just like, and it was the middle of the day, so it actually was fine. It just isn't a good neighborhood to be in doing anything wrong, because you will get something bad happen to you. But, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. People are fucked up. People are disrespectful. People have very few morals that I can tell.
Well, at least in the Midwest, yeah, it seems to be getting worse every day. Mm-hmm. But luckily, there's some places like India where they're starting to think about things and release the dolphins, release the whales, release all the fucking
That's
animals.
what I'm saying is that, like, with an American attitude, because you know how we all think, and I'm speaking very generally on purpose, but Americans tend to think that we are the best country in the world, USA, USA, and then we're sitting here deciding how big to make truck testicles, and there's other countries like India that are like, I don't think it's right how we're treating these animals. Yeah. And and they seem to have a consciousness.
Anybody who is of the USA mentality, I recommend you watch the first 10 minutes of a show called Newsroom.
Okay. Watch Outsourced on Hulu. That's some funny shit.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, God, it's so good. Not the movie, though, that's on Netflix. Watch the actual TV show.
Jeff Daniels plays a character on the show called Newsroom. I haven't seen much of the series, but my sister-in-law made me watch the first scene. She's like, it sounds like you. It kind of did.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But check it out. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, don't go to any dolphin shows.
And don't try to give birth inside of a dolphin tank unless you're fucking stupid.
Yeah. If you do that, I really hope you have to watch your child be eaten because you're a fucking idiot and something will scar you for life.
And you're in the tank with this creature that rapes people left and right. And so you're just going to take off your fucking pants and have your snatches open as wide as possible to birth a kid and be like, ah! And think that dolphin's not going to just swim right up there? What the fuck? Not that you deserve it, because you should be able to flaunt yourself in whatever you want and not have somebody, penetrate if you don't want them
Dolphins haven't gone to...
They didn't go to...
sexual therapy training.
Yeah, they didn't go to harassment school.
No, not in the least bit.
Crazy.
They are master harassers.
But I'm going to let Bill wind it down, because it's clear he's trying to end the show.
No, I don't give a fuck. If you got something else to talk about, let's talk.
No, I really don't.
I'm all out of shit. That's why I'm just...
Oh, yeah.
I'm exhausted. I've had 3.5, 4 hours of sleep. I'm ready to pass out.
I'm just unpleasant.
Yeah, well, I've got that going for me, too.
Yeah. And that's something we should talk about an episode coming up is, not just my need to be unpleasant most of the time, but humans in general and need to just be bitchy. Like, how are you today? Well, and go off on a 5-minute tangent about what the fuck. The shit nobody else even cares about, and then someone just says something nice, you're like, oh, how are you today? And you gotta be an asshole. And I do it, and I don't even know why. What the fuck is that?
I don't know, but we'll definitely have to talk about that, because I do it too.
Yeah!
No matter how zen I try to be, I'm like, fuck all of you!
Serenity now! Give us some story ideas about that, though, guys, because we can't be the only people that are just straight up assholes.
Yeah, if you have some great asshole moments, share it with us on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. We'll read through them and talk about our favorites.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, we'll just rant and rave about other stupid shit and keep changing the subject left and right.
That's true. We did pretty well, though.
I think we did all right.
We brought it full circle.
The circle going down.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to sign off.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Gotta move the mouse way over there. Okay, bye.